Hey everyone, it's Cassie.
It's SB. We're best friend-in-laws. We've got some shit to say.
I'm ready. Are you?
Mm-hmm. Hey bestie.
Hello.
So, weekly check-in. How are your kids? How are you doing?
The kids are doing good. Rowan got 2 awards at school, so he was really excited about that. He said, "Mom, do I get more than just your, like, being happy for me, like you being proud of me?"
Aww.
AKA he wanted, like, a Target trip or something.
Aha, sweeten the deal.
But yeah, other than that, just kids and work.
My sports are finally all done. No more late night practices, no more driving people here and there. So, save me some gas.
Do the boys have any plans this summer?
Yeah, actually, Isaac just brought to me a flyer for a basketball summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Clovis, so more driving. I'll get a little bit of break, but I think it's for the month of May, and it's only like 8 sessions, so that'll be all right. He wants to tune up for that, and then I did tell him that I found a soccer sign-up for the fall. So originally, like a couple weeks ago, he had actually said that he wanted to play again, which was shocking because soccer was life, and then
he had that one bad season, and it wasn't even him; it was like the team.
The coach was horrible. Yeah. So that bad experience led him to never want to play soccer again, and he kind of did mention that he was considering playing this next year again, but like in school. Mm-hmm. But I would like at least to get him warmed up with like a private league, get him back in there again, because I don't know, I don't want him to make a fool of himself in front of like his friends and stuff, but he's rusty.
You can hire Rowan. He could train him. We got goals at our house.
Running plays in the front yard.
Yeah. Be like, here, just practice.
Yeah, other than that, I mean, life's been good. I'm excited to be on episode 6.
Yes, we are here.
Can you believe we made it this far?
I know. After so long of talking about it and then, like, saying, we're going to do it, and then don't do it, and then
you
now here we are.
Dive in and do it. So we had a special request come in through Instagram about a couple of different topics, and one of them that stood out to me was worst people to work with. It's kind of cringy. But how many years have you been working? Like, how old were you when you started working?
Well, probably like 16. I had a few little babysitting jobs, but my first real job would probably be 18.
Okay. I've been working since I was 13, under the table and whatnot. Yeah. But then, I think the first job I got was right out of high school at 17. So we've been in this working field for a long, long time. What are some of the things that, like, coworkers, like, you can't stand? And because we're both in the medical field, I feel like doctors plays a big one for us.
Oh, yeah. You don't have a life. The doctor expects you not to have a life.
Yeah. I hate to, like, jump on doctors about this, but they can be some of the worst people to work for ever. Like, there's, like, a bad boss, but, like, doctors outrank that. Mm-hmm. You may get people who have, like just, I don't know, bad habits or bad attitudes or, like, just super cranky. But, like, I feel like a doctor just, like, totally one-ups that. Working for doctors suck, and that's exactly why I got away from that. I don't want to be patient care anymore.
Now you have surgeons.
I know.
It's just as bad.
SV to OR1 is, like, the worst fear when, like, my heart sinks, and I'm like, oh, shit, I gotta go see what the doctor wants. But, yeah, they're some of the most, like, worst bosses to have.
Yeah.
Have you had any bad experiences with that?
Not too many. I feel like it's just when they want something, they want it then.
They want
and
it,
you
like,
better
10
have the
ago.
answer.
Yeah.
Or else.
Yeah.
And I feel like the jobs that I work in, it's really like, important to have. Because I've only done, like, pediatrics and oncology.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those are really important fields. Like, I mean, everything's important, but you have to think about, like, test results that come in for oncology or medications.
The doctor doesn't even want to see you if your labs aren't even in the
Yeah,
chart.
so you
right
have
then
to make sure you have everything. So I feel like it's all about, like, the prepping.
Yeah.
Is what's the most important.
Yeah, when I was a medical assistant, which I did for about 6 years, I only worked internal medicine, but you definitely have to stay like 3 steps ahead of the doctor at all times and almost predict what they're going to want next. Kind of same goes for in the OR. Like, you kind of have to be prepared for what they're going to need or what their, like, plan B is going to be. And so that's where I kind of train my team to kind of be like, okay, well, read the schedule, understand the schedule, and understand what the possibilities can be so you can better prepare yourself for that. But I remember that I worked for this one doctor, not going to mention any names, but it was the only female doctor that I had ever worked for as a medical assistant. Mm-hmm. This woman made my life hell. She, I like to say, is the reason why I have migraines today. Like,
Dang,
yeah,
traumatizing.
Yeah, she PTSD'd me, never wanted to work for another doctor again in my life. But she was just like, she was belittling. Mm-hmm. Besides the fact that she was 4 foot tall, so I think it's like that, like little man syndrome. Yeah, she was a bitch. Absolutely controlling. Her medical assistants were her, like, servants. Mm-hmm. And it was horrible. And, you know, just would like to note for anyone who is listening that not all doctors are that bad. I just have had some really bad experiences.
Yeah, I haven't had those kind of experiences. Like, to where doctor makes me not want to go to work.
No. I want to throw a chair at this lady's face. I hated her. She was absolute horrible. She was just degrading. And we weren't just medical assistants for her. Like, we weren't just rooming them. And because I worked front desk, back office. Mm-hmm. I was janitor on the weekends for her. Like, she was just, like, didn't care.
Yeah.
She didn't care about your well-being. She didn't care that you had things to do with your kids. She didn't care that you had a weekend, like, and a family outside of it. She just didn't care. If you weren't there doing for her what she needed, it was like, she would make your life hell.
Yeah.
She would fuck your schedule, you know, she just, I don't know. I can't even explain it anymore. I had to leave. I had to leave out of the toxic relationship that I had with her. It was so bad.
Yeah. I would say a pet peeve of mine would be, like, new people being hired and, like, whoever hired them not really verifying, like, what they say on their resume.
Skills.
Like, their skills. They're like, oh, yeah, I've done that. And then you're, like, you know, interviewing them or, like, their first day, and they don't even know how to answer a phone correctly. And it's like, how do you not know?
Yeah.
It's like, hi, like, you know, and it's like, hello. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you're calling this office. No, like, they don't want to hear that. They want to hear a chirpery person. Like, they don't, you know, care.
Yeah, Dr. So-and-so's, like...
Yeah, you gotta, you know, be fast, efficient, and friendly at the same time.
That customer service voice and, you know, smile, especially when you actually have parents in front of you. Like, that's a big one, too, because parents are, I mean... It's in the title. Mama Bear is what it is. Like, if I'm not happy with my front desk service, you best believe I'm telling back office, and then I'm telling doctor when she gets in. So
yeah, I'm sure you complained about me.
No,
just kidding.
No,
when I roomed your kids one time before we knew each other.
Yeah, that's really small world. You know, I like Fresno's small. But it's like, this is weird.
It's really weird, yeah.
Yeah. See, you are a medical assistant at my children's pediatrics office. Mm-hmm. What a small world.
Yeah.
That's insane. And this is the second time you're working for her.
Yeah.
So that's really nice because that means that you've had a good enough experience to be like, yeah, of course, doctor, like, I will come back for you.
Yeah.
You can't relate.
Yeah.
I've never had that before. Every place that I've left, I'd be like, deuces, I'm out, fuck you, you're cool.
That's not how I felt when I left your work.
Yeah.
I was like so sad. I feel like because you were like, my boss is great. I love it. You know, I'll get you in. Got me in. I was like happy. And then I had like the worst experience, you know, and I was like, I'm sorry, I have to go. Like, I can't stay here. And I'm grateful, like, you didn't take it as, like, man, I got her in. You know, like, you weren't, like, in any way that way. But I was more like, man, I'm letting her down. But it's like, I can't do this anymore.
Run.
Like,
run away.
I gotta go somewhere else.
Yeah. I'm sorry your experience happened that way. It just... And then that person's not even there anymore.
I know.
So
it's like they should have just listened to me, and it's like you were just choosing someone that had been there longer instead of like hearing a new fresh voice. And it's like,
and both of those people aren't there anymore, actually.
Yeah, so that's what's like frustrating.
But every person that they had after you went and said the same exact complaint, and so it's like the problem existed. Just because you can sugarcoat it or bat your eyes and try to be like, no, it wasn't me. Yeah, it was this whole time for years. And because people finally called you on your bullshit. Yeah. And no, I wasn't mad at all. I can completely understand, like, run away. Me and my department, we were having a great time. I had a wonderful supportive boss. And so I from my perspective, everybody in the hospital was that great. And that's why I quit community to go down there. So yeah. What about coworkers? That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, I mean, coworkers, it varies. I guess,
if you don't have enough common sense for me, we're already not getting along.
Yeah, common sense or just like a straight attitude in a way. Like, we don't need to be best friends. We're here to work, but you're my equal. So don't expect me to be like kissing ass because I'm not going to.
Micromanagers.
Yes.
That's a big one. Act your wage. That's
act your wage, yeah.
Act your wage. If you are not someone with a title, you can have multiple seats. Because I only report to my direct and that's it. You know, now that I'm in management, I have learned a lot about the micromanaging. And, I can spot it a mile away. And I shut that shit down immediately. Can't stand it. I also don't like when people try to butter up. And like, you know, sorry, I want to say, like, I don't want to say it because it sounds disgusting. But, like, please, like, don't suck tit to be where you're at. Like, that's just nasty. Yeah. But, like, you're being a chi-chi baby. Like, you just want to be around the boss and, like, up their ass all the time. I can't stand that.
And I don't like the fact of people, too, like, that, even it goes back to, like, when I was at, you know, where you work. The friendship, not putting the line. Like, I feel like people
separate,
like, can't separate, like, you know, work from friendship. Because I always felt like I can do that very well with coworkers or anything. Like,
when you're on the clock, do your job. And, like, separate that out. So we can go out, we could have a drink, we could, you know, have some happy hour. But when we're on the clock...
That's shut down.
It should absolutely be nothing else but work.
Yeah. And I feel like when I worked with my other friend, and because we were so close outside of work, people thought that, like, they couldn't talk about her mess-ups in front of me, or they couldn't do this in front of me, and I'm more like, no, because if she even fucked up, I would bring it up. I will say, like, hey, like, you did that wrong, or hey, we should do it this way. I don't like the whole putting everyone's business. So, like, if I had told her something that I felt like she did wrong, I'm not going to go tell Susan, Jan, and Tracy the same, I told her, you know?
Spreading rumors.
Yeah. I'm going to keep it private. So, yeah, maybe they might feel like, I wouldn't have her own for her mistake. But it's also none of your business if I do that or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to be able to still have that conversation with someone too, like, because it's still like I don't need you making me look bad either. We could be friends, but you're not gonna throw me under the bus. So, like I said, I don't mind. We can go out for happy hour. We could do this or that. But like when we're on work time and I like, hey, don't look bored. I'll give you something to do right away. They straighten up and like get back to work. So yeah, I can't. Procrastinators. I know that I can be late for some things. Like I'm gonna show up, I promise you, for reals. But like when I have a deadline for work, especially if they say, "Oh, can you get this to me by Friday?" I'll have it to you by the other day. I can't. I don't like to procrastinate to the last minute when it comes to work. My
but
name
she
is.
will always be late to your party.
I will always be late. Probably not even fashionably.
I get there before you all the time.
Yeah, but like when it comes to like my work and when it's under my name, that shit's shiny, like gold star. I'm on time for sure. What do you do when you're on lunch? Do you have lunch by yourself?
The way my schedule kind of is, I don't take a lunch every day, but on the days that I do, which recently I've been taking like 30 minutes, yeah, I always eat alone.
So you're not like a lunchroom girl? You're like a eat in my car girl?
No, I'll eat in there. I do both.
Okay.
It just depends, honestly. If I need to make some phone calls and I want to talk in private and everyone's having lunch at the same time I am, I'm a car girl. I don't care.
Yeah.
If I'm not and I'm just like watching a show, I just put my AirPods in or like, I'll conversate with them here and there, but I don't feel like I need to have lunch with anyone or anything because,
Like work bestie.
yeah.
Yeah. Everybody goes to the break room now and I miss it. I'm not gonna lie, because if I go to the break room now, it's, oh, SB, 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 and I'm like, I'm on my lunch. Can we not talk about work when I have food in front of me? And so, like, I find myself, I'm in the break room, and I'm just like, please talk about anything else but work. Please talk about anything. And then if it comes up, I'm just like, can we just please not? Like, I hate to be rude about it, but, like, just because I'm in here,
you have a chance because you see me doesn't mean anything. Email me. Can it be in an email? Or, like...
Can we just not for a second ask me about, like, my kids or the weekend or something like that? So I, for a little bit, I had to, like, go warm up my food and, like, take it back to my office and just eat really quick because I don't ever get a lunch break. I'm still eating and working at the same time, and that's if I take food. But I find myself, like, I don't want to go over there because I don't want to have to talk about work.
Yeah.
Like, please shut that off for a second, especially when you're clocked out. If you're on your break, if you're on your lunch, don't allow people to cut in on that and talk about work. They're like, I got 3 more minutes and you could wait.
Yeah.
Do your kids ever ask for like sleepovers, like to stay over at someone's house?
Only Emma.
And how do you deal with that when that comes up? Like, are you okay with that? Does it matter who it is, or have you ever had to say no?
So she's only sleep over at family's house.
Okay.
So she only really asks for like her cousin or her grandparents. Nothing that's like a friend. I would say, gosh, years ago she had her friend sleep over, and it was like a girl. She was in cheer, and the girl slept over at our house. But I feel like now that they're getting older, I might have that come up, but I don't know how it would feel.
Isaac seems to be in his sleepover era right now.
Okay.
Every spring break, winter break, summer's coming up, I already see it.
Yeah.
He's got, his little trio, and it's, can I stay at their house? Can they stay over here? Can they... yeah, that's fine. When I was growing up, I had a lot of sleepovers, but I also probably just needed a lot of babysitters. But yeah, Isaac's definitely kind of enjoying that part. Lorenzo didn't ever ask for a sleepover, which I kind of thought was like kind of weird. I don't know. With as many friends as they had, and sports friends and school friends, and his never came up. I don't know if it was just because it was the friends he had. Maybe those parents didn't do that or whatnot, but Isaac's two besties, I have a group chat with the moms.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, hey, the boys are planning something again.
Yeah.
So, I'm cool with it. I think it's good. I think it's good to have that bonding moments, things like core memories and stuff. Because these are the times where it's like, all right, we know we have to let go of all the rules. The kids are staying up till the crack of dawn, you know, like sun's coming up and they're loving it. They're in the streets, on their bikes, at the park. I don't know. I'm encouraging it. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see him be a kid. So that's kind of my take on it. But I also don't have a girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say I mean I talk about it all the time with Daniel that when the kids get older, it's kind of like we can't set the double standard, you know? I don't feel like my kids are those types that want to go. They want always people to come to our house.
Mm-hmm.
But with Emma, I told him, like, as the boys get older, as a mom, what other parents are going to feel comfortable with her spending the night with 3 brothers there?
Yeah, that's true too.
Of course, like, it's just, there's no black and white, I feel like. Because also it's like, well, we can't be the same way if she goes and spends the night somewhere and her friend has a brother, you know? The only thing we can do is just install in our kids, like, right and wrong. And I think a lot of that comes from, like, my childhood of, like, sleepovers. But I also feel like my kids aren't growing up the way I did, so they're not so steadfast.
Yeah,
you know, like,
it's a different era.
It's totally different. And so I wouldn't be against it. I think just I would have to know the parents, of course, or talk to them. I just told you earlier today that I had let Emma go from just to go ice cream with a mom that I've known for years, and like her 2 daughters, they wanted to go to ice cream, and Emma went with them. And I was like, sure, if you want to bring her back to the house. But even like that, I was just like, am I doing this?
Watching
like,
her location.
I know. But I fully trust the mom. It was just like getting to that age where she wants to do that, you know.
Independency.
This summer they have a pool, so she was with their mom, you know, she's like, yeah, anytime, you know. And I'm okay with that. But I'm also like, oh my goodness.
It's a new territory.
It's a new territory.
Yeah.
And it's something also me and her dad haven't talked about either. Like, what are our, you know, as long as we instill, like, certain expectations in the kids, I feel like it would be fine. But I remember when my mom, I had, like, a few best friends that I'm still best friends with now that would come over, and, man, my mom would have us all cleaning.
Oh, no, that's not the same
like,
thing.
She would be like, you're staying here? You stayed here more than 2 times. You know, our fridge is open, don't ask, you know.
Dishes.
Yeah, like, we would have chores, or,
yeah.
you know, she was that kind of, like, mom, you know. But my one friend, she was only allowed to spend the night at my house and our other friend's house. And her parents were the parents that, like, we don't want people over, so we never went to her house.
Wow. Yeah. You know what? I think that it's kind of it's a new territory for Jesse as well. Because he's like, oh, how long are they staying?
Yeah.
Like, people are in his bubble. Because not so much that, like, we don't like the kid or we don't, you know, like, it's nothing like that. It's nothing against the people or the children who are coming. It's just like, oh, we have to babysit more.
We have to be more
bodies.
responsible.
Yeah, you actually have to, like, because, you know, my kids, they're in their rooms. That's what they do. It's kind of, I don't know. They're just the age that they don't come out much. They don't socialize with us much unless we cross paths in the living room and it's like, what's up? But when we have people over to our houses, I'm kind of like, well, what are you guys going to do? I have to feed more children. I feel like I have to entertain a little bit more, where I'm not really that good at that. But when he goes to when Isaac goes to his friends' houses, they're just all over the place and everywhere. They have that freedom and the relaxation. I feel like I don't have much to do here. I have a park up the street. That's about it. And I kind of like I said, I like the way that they bring out that kid in him. That makes him feel like he can have those experiences and stuff like that. I remember when I was growing up, I had multiple elementary schools, but the when I was at home and I had a group of best friends where it was like, it was girl time every time we got together. And it was, pizza and popcorn and scary movies and light as a feather, stiff as a board, makeovers and stuff like that. And so
did you ever call the hotline, like, as you got older?
That was a different set of friends when I got to middle school.
Okay.
Oh, man. And it was one of those, like, we shouldn't be doing this. Like,
I didn't actually have probably any sleepovers with friends until middle school, so I think that's kind of, like, where I started, and I was, like, calling the hotline,
so bad. Yeah, I know what you mean. When I was a younger, because I'm putting myself in, like, Emma's age, that was my, like, Spice Girl era. We were coming up with dance routines, and we was making bracelets, and it was very girly time, like, just the girls. And I can't actually recall any time where I felt like I was uncomfortable, or, like, this isn't right, I shouldn't be here, or, like, because I try to put myself in a mind, like, oh my God, what if I had a daughter today? Like, what would that be like for me? And trusting strangers and being in someone else's house, and I can't think of anything that I had like that. It was just core memories of just being a kid. And so I kind of want to give that to my kids too. Like, if I know they're older now, and I'm losing that chapter is going to be closing soon, but I like it. I like that. I'm like, yeah, sure, of course, you want to go, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I didn't know boys did sleepovers till your boys.
Really?
Until Isaac. Because I don't remember, like, when I spent the night at my friend's house that had brothers, like, them ever having their guy friends over. And it could have just been maybe a house rule. I do remember one of my friend's parents, if she had friends over, brother couldn't. And then if her brother had friends over, like, sister couldn't, because they were like, we don't want to be responsible for any, like, spin the bottle, or something.
Yeah. No, that totally makes sense. And, like, I haven't had to deal with that. The friends that he has, they have, well, one of them has all brothers, the other one has all sisters. So I honestly didn't even think about it like that. But the son that he's friends with, he's the youngest out of all of the siblings. And so kind of just the girls don't even, like, bat their eyes that way. They're just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Another annoying, stinky teenager in the house.
Yeah.
Have you ever talked to your children or had considered, like, a safe word, especially now that I know that Emma has a cell phone? Have you ever talked to her about, like, if you're in a situation that you're not comfortable in?
I haven't. I've always I want to. But I've just always she just always will just text me, But that is a good plan to have. Like, text me hot dog or something.
Anything keyword of, like, yeah. Or I think I've seen, I saw something that said, like, even if you just teach them to just send you, like, the stop
emoji,
sign. Yeah, the stop sign emoji or something. That'd be your secret way of communicating, like, get me out of here now, kind of thing.
Yeah, like, call me, yell at me, tell me I need to come home, or you're gonna come pick me up. Yeah, that's definitely something to do in the future. I still feel like I said right now, she doesn't really go anywhere.
But like you said, summer's coming up. She's hit her double digits in age. Like, it's going to be time to start thinking about her social life.
Yeah, because she definitely wanted to have, like, a friend's party, and I was like, oh, why not just the family? But, yeah, definitely get into that era, and I just feel like for the boys right now, they're just still too, like...
Yeah.
No. They don't even like to go spend the night at any family member's house, really.
And your boys are close enough in age that they entertain each other enough that they're not like, oh, I want to... Eventually, yes, you're going to have the, can I bring this friend along, and can we go over there, and I want to hang out with them, and... yeah, try to set those grounds of, like, if you feel that this person is making you uncomfortable, or if you're in a situation that you don't like, or a topic comes up that you don't want to talk about, like, definitely send me something that I can interrupt, whether that means, like, do you want me to call and interrupt that conversation, or do you want me to just drop everything and to come get you? My kids are a big open book with me and things like that, so... I encourage that for you, especially because you have a girl, and I couldn't even imagine. I don't know what life of a girl is.
I know, and it sucks for her even more because she's the oldest. So I told her, like, you're our, like, your dad and I are still learning to parent
Mm-hmm.
at your age, because you're the first to everything, the
Mm-hmm.
first to go to school, the
Mm-hmm.
first this, everything's first, and you're a girl.
Yeah.
So I told her not everything's going to be the same for how your brothers, because they're boys.
Yeah.
And I just also try to, like, remind that, like, I try, as much as I say I want to treat them the same, you can't, because it's just different.
Yeah. How about, have you ever heard it's not called a sleepover, it's called a sleep under. Have you ever heard of this term before?
No.
So what it is instead of allowing kids to have a sleepover at your house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where like you're getting dropped off, your parents will pick you up in the morning, you're basically staying here all night kind of thing. The idea is that you maybe say you're making an invitation to her birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and you write, sleep under. The expectation is that they're coming over to do sleepover things, whether that be like, pajama party with a cute little beauty routine,
Mm-hmm.
a movie and popcorn or whatever, and then your mom's coming to pick you up at 10 o'clock. It's different, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that is a good stepping stone at least?
Yeah, I feel like that's actually, a good idea, because then you don't have to worry about breakfast in the morning either.
Yeah, 'cause I feel like when Isaac goes to his sleepovers, it's like drop off at 5, pick up at 5. So they're keeping the kids like 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I have a good enough relationship with the moms that I absolutely have trust in them, and they're helicopter moms too.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that they're in good hands, and I know that each one of them has a cell phone, so there really shouldn't be any reason why there's like a lack of communication or something. Like if they were to leave to ride their bikes around the corner, I can trust that those moms are also watching where their children are too. So, but yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a different one because, like I said, for me growing up, I remembered like the core memory was definitely like the giggling in the dark and like telling scary stories till early in the morning kind of thing. But I'm not opposed to it. I feel like, does it cut the night early? Maybe, but also if you start with like a younger age, maybe that's just enough time for them. So you know that you guys have a set bedtime.
Yeah.
Maybe you say, hey, you know what? It's going to feel extra special. You guys are going to stay awake for 2 extra hours, but your friends are leaving.
Yeah. And even now, like when her cousins spend the night, I'm like, oh, midnight's it. Like, I don't care. I put an alarm on my phone because sometimes I fall asleep. Midnight's it. I go in there. No electronics. Like, maybe I'm not going to be the fun mom to have sleepovers because I just have that strict, like, I'm not going to let you guys stay up all night and sleep in or, like, wake up, early. Maybe it's because they're young right now, but I'm honestly like, nope, I need your electronics charged, and if I fall asleep and they're not charged the next day, it's like they're sitting there trying to charge it while they're playing it.
Oh, yeah.
So I just have that rule of, like, midnight's it.
Oh, I think it's hilarious. Like, when Isaac comes back from, like, his sleepovers, and as soon as he comes home, he showers and knocks out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? What did you guys do over there? And he's like, we were up all night long.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I mean, it doesn't, to me, I guess it just doesn't bother me because I'm like, those are things that he's gonna take with him in his memory bank. And I find it funny because I'm just like, you probably kept the whole house up.
So yeah, no, I'm like, house is going to bed now. Midnight. Wi-Fi's off.
Yeah.
Good night.
I also like that, like, he's exposed to different cultures because his friends that he stays at are of different ethnicities, and so he's like, Mom, we got to help make sticky rice, and I'm like, that's so dope. Like, I'm happy for you because you need that exposure to different types of people too. So, and how they live, and it's their culture is very like forthcoming. So when he goes over there, he has to abide by their culture and the ways that they do things.
Yeah.
I love that for him. I love to see it.
That's good.
Well, something to consider, at least.
Yeah, good couple options there.
I had no idea what a sleep under was, but until I looked
Me
further
either.
into it, because I was like, what the fuck is this?
It's good to know. So I wanted to get your opinion, or what do you think about, and you've been there and seen it, how sometimes Rowan doesn't want to be in our family photos or any photos at all.
Yeah, I've noticed that he's been having a little bit more of a harder time. It's like having to kind of bribe him a little bit to get a little smile and then a photo out of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a struggle, I would say, like the last year, maybe even longer. He wants that control, maybe, I would say, of taking the photo. And it's either like having to be bribed, or I kind of got to the point where like, you're just not going to be in my photos.
Then he's missing from the family photos.
Yeah, he's missing from the photo, or
I'm cropping him into a photo.
Yeah, he's like looking away, and then later on he regrets it, and he'll look at it when I'm like posting something, or he likes to like look at my pictures, and I show him pictures, and he'll be like, I'm sorry, like, when we go to Disneyland, and probably like 3 years ago, old Disneyland trips, he'll be like, I'm sorry, Mom, I didn't like look in that photo. And I'm like, well, it's okay, but like, now look at, you're not in the photos.
Right, like you want to be supportive of him. If you don't want to take the picture, that's fine, but ultimately he's regretting it. Has he hinted at why he doesn't want to take pictures anymore?
Before, I think it was a control thing. Now it's more of like he lost his teeth. I feel like, not in my family, but other people make fun of him for like not having his two front teeth, or one tooth's gone, or
making comments or making fun of him,
and making fun of him to where he doesn't want to smile now in photos and show that. So
he's at that awkward age where he's like some baby teeth, some adult teeth, some like missing teeth. Yeah.
Or
well, I saw his school pictures.
But yeah,
you can see he's trying to hide.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to retake them.
Oh no.
So that's what they are. And then even like he had, got awards, like I said, this week. He was just like, you can see this.
Yeah.
Like his nose and down was covered by the paper. So it was really hard. It's hard to do that, but I want him to have the consent. Like I don't also make them hug everyone. That's their body, their choice.
Right.
And I feel like I get a lot of shit for that, because Mexicans, Hispanics, like, you go tell everyone hi and give them a hug.
Make sure you kiss your tia.
Yeah. And for sure, he doesn't even like me to kiss his own head, and I'm his mom. Like, I don't get kisses from him. It would be rare. And again, I always ask him, like, is it okay if I give you a kiss on your head? And sometimes he'll say yes and no.
Yeah.
So I think it's all about consent.
Do you feel like the, on his end for the hugging, though, is that like a, what is it called? What is it called when you, like, touchy, like you don't want people touching you kind of thing?
Yeah, like, he doesn't like that.
Like some people don't like the way that certain textures feel, but like some people, like, you're just too close. You're making me feel
you're
too
in my
much.
bubble.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
I agree to that. I don't like hugs either. But
so he's very, and I feel like that's kind of how he is with pictures. Like, it kind of just moved over, you know? Like, everything's aligned. And so I just don't, or even if I'm making a video, he'll be like, don't post that one. Or, like, he'll want to see it before I post it.
I can relate. That's where I'm definitely having my struggles with, too, right now. If it was my child and he was just not wanting to take pictures, it probably would hurt my feelings, because as a mom, you want to capture every moment. Like, I'm a shutterbug. I take pictures of everything. I'm really getting terrible about posting them, but I have 5,000 pictures in my camera roll right now of just moments that are for me now. It would break my heart to know that he was not wanting to be captured in that moment. Maybe candid pictures. Does he get mad at that?
No, he loves Easter pictures or Santa pictures. He's always been
like not like at the photographer like sit down place, but like candid, like catching him off guard. Like in a cute way that, like, have you ever done it and has he seen it and has that bothered him?
No. Sometimes, yeah. He'll, like, see an old video or picture. He's like, why did you take that? Or when did you take that?
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, last Sunday we were playing soccer outside, and I was like, hey, let's record us. Like, let's make a cute video. And he was like, okay. Like, he's fine.
So there's its ups and downs to it.
It's just, yeah. I think it's the per choice.
I say just appreciate the moments that you do capture. I know that time goes by really quickly though, and he's growing right before your eyes. So that's kind of the hard part for me because like I said, I'm a shutterbug. I like to take pictures of everything. But I do agree with him. I think as an adult now, I hate taking pictures. I hate being in pictures. I hate the way I look in pictures. And so I'm just kind of like, I don't want to have to take a picture, or I'll take pictures of people, but I won't want to be in the picture. So I can relate. I can see where he's coming from. Like, if he's not happy or confident in how he's looking with his teeth situation, I can see him not wanting to smile big or even show what he's got going on. I think you just got to give him the space for that. I can't see it being another way until he comes around.
Yeah. And he has his days. I mean, he's definitely struggled. And I was just talking to, like, Daniel about it last night. He's come such a long way. And I feel like it's just getting better.
Oh, that's good.
And so hopefully that happens. But then, like, just a few weeks ago at a birthday party, he was, like, on the floor crying because he didn't want to take the picture because of how he looked.
Well,
and it
made
him. It made me so sad. I mean, we comforted him, and then eventually he came out and took the picture. But I also just gave him that time and space to, like, understand and acknowledge his feelings. I'm saying, okay, I understand you don't feel handsome right now, but you are handsome. And, just take a minute and take a deep breath, and you'll be okay. Because no one's going to make fun of you out there. No one's laughing at you out there.
Yeah.
So I just feel like...
Do you say, like, hey, we're going to take a picture and you're welcome to join us?
Yes, exactly. That's kind of what I say. And then if he does, he does. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. And that's okay. Yeah. He gets more mad, though, when he sees the photo later, like the Halloween picture where I Photoshop him in.
Sorry.
He gets like, why did you do that? Like, I wasn't in the picture. And I'm like, well, because I wanted you in it. Yeah. So I think ever since then, he's actually been more willing because he knows, okay, either way, she's going to get me in there.
Or that it means something to you.
Yeah.
He might be picking up on that, like, well, this would really make my mom sad if I wasn't in it.
And that's what I tell him. I'm like, I do so much for you guys, and all I ask is for one picture.
Literally. Like, that's how I am on holidays.
One picture, that's all I need. I do all of this for you guys. Christmas, I was like, all this, we ask for, like, one picture or two, you know?
Just to capture the moment. My kids got so used to it just triggered me. I just realized that, like, I'm not going to have another first day of school picture with Renzo. But they already know. Like, it's one of those checklist things on the first day of school. Stop, you're not getting in the car, I'm getting my picture. They know immediately, drop the backpack, pose and cheese. Like, they just don't even argue it anymore, because it used to be like, oh my God, Mom, are you serious? Like, you do this every year. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I do it every year, so come on, let's go.
You better pull out Lorenzo's for his graduation party.
I know.
Or dinner.
I know. There's going to be a whole flip book of first day of school pics. But the situation that I'm having now is kind of the consent to post. So you have a consent to take the photo, which I can usually get the photo out of them. It's the consent to post. Why did you post that? Why did you tag me? Why? And social media is kind of like, it's a weird place for me now that my children are on social media and have that control to block what's allowed to be seen. I don't understand the new wave of kids taking social medias, and yet when you go to their page, it's blank. Yes. They're just watching. They're not posting. That's weird.
They want to have secret lives.
Yeah, seriously. Or the pictures that they post don't show their face, or they're finding a way to block their face. And I've noticed I remember my niece used to do it a lot when she was growing up, is she would find ways to block her face with like I don't know,
Like
cute
an
little
emoji, a
yeah,
sticker, or,
cute little like throwing, you know, a peace sign up or something small. Like there's always
I think it's like this now.
yeah, seriously. But it's like literally
I have a goddaughter, she's 13.
it's their way of censoring themselves. Like, you got it, I'm in the picture, but you're not gonna get a picture of me. And then we look at it and we're like, why would you do that? Why would you block your face? And like, oh, I get it. I didn't ask for their permission. They're in it, but they found their way to censor themselves. That's what I'm finding lately. So I'm having to be like, can I record this? Can I post this? Are you okay with that? Like, especially when it's just like an Instagram story, you know it's going to be gone in 24 hours. But like, hey, do you think that I can post this in my actual feed? Which I feel like no one ever asked us that.
No.
Growing up. You didn't have a choice. You were just stand and say cheese.
Yes.
I don't know how to, it's a different time, and I think social media has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
But I think for us growing up with social media, it was look at everything, right? Look at what I'm eating, look at where I'm going, look at what, like, everything was on social media.
These are my top 3 friends.
Right. This is my selfie of the day. Like, that's, I think we definitely grew up in like the photogenic, everything goes on social media. Every little thing you're doing goes on social media. And I feel like for them growing up with us posting everything about them, they're probably just like over it. That's how kind of how I feel about it. Like, they have that choice to say like, yeah, I'm not into it. It's not for me. I don't need everybody in the world seeing a picture of me. But like, our parents didn't do that for us. So our parents took photos galore, but they just sat in an album. Where we took photos galore and we're posting it for the whole world to see.
True.
So I guess I can kind of see like where my older children are coming from now of like, yeah, I don't want that out there.
Yeah, they don't want their Tony pictures out there anymore.
I guess. But there's still times where he's like, both my kids are like, do you have a picture of me when I was in kindergarten? That's their new profile pictures.
Yeah.
Don't take a picture of me today, but show how cute I was when I was a kid.
Yeah. Show before I got that mustache.
And pit hair. Yeah. Well, I mean, I say give him his space, let him come around at his own time, and, you know, just hold those pictures that you have, like, dear to you, because they're precious. They're the few and far between that he's allowed to share that with you, and just tell him, like, I really appreciate you allowing me to capture this moment.
And I got to the point, too, where I don't get angry, and people that want pictures, like other family members are like, oh, we really want a picture with him. I'm like, he doesn't want to, and I'm not going to force him. You have to just accept it, and maybe next time. Yeah, don't force him, and don't allow other people to force him either. I don't know what he goes through when he's not in front of you, but it's obviously not the same support, because you shouldn't feel so uncomfortable, and I feel like he's bringing that home to you instead of it creating at home and him going out and doing it. I feel like that's what he's bringing into your life. Thanks for listening to another hour of our bullshit.
Make sure you follow us on all of our socials at bfil.podcast.
You can catch us every week on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Bye, besties!